They're already grooming him. They're already training him. And he will declare himself to be the Mahdi. I'm talking about the Israeli Mossad's Mahdi, who's coming. And you'll be surprised how many Muslims are going to be deceived, particularly our brothers who are Shia. Particularly our brothers who are Shia. Who are going to be deceived and taken for a ride by this false Mahdi. In fact, there'll probably be more than one. So you better watch it. Should we offer a chance to the sisters now? No, okay, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. You mentioned many things that's designed before. So my question is related to this revolution movement in Arab countries. So is it designed also and controlled by others, or it's nature movement? Thank you.
My lecture on the subject is on YouTube, an Islamic view of the current Arab uprisings. And I have paid tribute to the courageous Egyptian people and the courageous Tunisian people and others who rose up in popular protest and brought down the heads of government. And I have said that they have set a glorious example so that other oppressors will now feel scared in their boots that if the same thing were to happen in their countries, they will suffer the same humiliation as Hosni Mubarak and Zainuddin bin Ali. This is already recorded, my view on the subject. However, I said this is the appearance that is positive, but the reality is something else. The reality is that Israel has to wage her big wars. If Israel is to replace the United States as the next ruling state in the world, Britain waged big wars to become the ruling state. The United States waged big wars in the First and Second World War, for example, to become the ruling state. Israel is not going to become the ruling state without waging big wars. However, and Israel has to wage big wars in order to realize the dramatic expansion of the territory of the state. Because the Bible says that the Holy Land extends from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates, which is false. It's false. But that's there in the Bible, the Torah. So they're going to have to expand their state, because no Jew would accept Dajjal as the Messiah unless Israel expands to encompass that territory. The only way that Israel could expand her territory is by waging big wars. To wage those big wars, you need to have your troops on this side and on this side. So the pincer movement. You already have your troops out there in Iraq, so now you want them in Libya. You don't need a PhD to understand now why they want Libya. But Israel does not want to wage big wars and appear to the world as an aggressor. No. Israel wants to wage her big wars and yet appear to be only defending herself and defending the world from the menace of a rising Islam. And so the Arab uprisings are playing into Israel's hands. And if the Egyptian armed forces continue to act in the suspiciously docile way that they've been acting, we can expect elections around the corner in Egypt to produce an Islamic government. And when you have an Islamic government in Egypt, oh my gosh, Israel is going to smile very broadly. Because you know what's going to be the impact? of an Islamic government in Egypt for Gaza. For Gaza. And then the claims of Israel becoming, Egypt has become a terrorist state, and therefore causes bellum, justification for waging wars. So we have two ways of looking at the Arab uprisings, which have not as yet ended. You'll find my lecture on the subject on YouTube, and you'll also find an essay on the subject that I've written, which is also on my website. By now you should know my website. Yeah. Was that the last question?
Shall we have from the women's side any questions?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Thank you for a very beneficial lesson. I have a question, it's not that related to the topic. My question is about religion, al-Masuniya. Lately, or for the previous years, we have seen videos or some documentaries has been made about Masuniya. And that is a religion that is group of people or group of thinking that worship Satan. It has been said that this group of people have been controlling everything that is happening in the world. But we haven't read or studied such thing in Qur'an. So honestly, I don't believe in this group, but I wanted to know whether such thing or such group will be appearing at the end of time, or whether those groups does exist in the world or not. Because I think it's the Jewish that has created this illusion in order to shift people from what is going to happen or how they are controlling the world. Thank you very much.
Something with the acoustics here. Something with the acoustics here that I could not understand the question, although he's speaking proper English. I suggest you come close to me. There's something with the acoustics here. I was not hearing you properly. Come close, come close. Okay, the question is about the Freemasons and the claim that the Freemasons are ruling the world today. Okay, I make no comment on that subject. I claim no expertise on that subject. I prefer that the question be answered by those who have expertise. But I had breakfast about a week ago with a European scholar who is attached to ISTAC. And I was given a big book like this called The Hand of Iblis. His name is Dr. Omar Zaid. And in that book he claims that he has the knowledge of the subject of the Freemasonry movement and the Illuminati and so on. So I would suggest that you seek guidance from Dr. Omar Zaid, who is at ISTAC. Yeah.
Inshallah, the last question for tonight.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Sheikh. My question for Ya'juj Ma'juj. As we are Muslim nowadays, we stay here in this world. What's our responsibility? How we can save ourselves from this fitna? Thank you.
Sahih Bukhari, and the hadith is repeated 4 times. Tawatir.